The whole of downtown Nashville likely still reverberating with the sounds of the Titans taking the field a moment ago. They're ready for football as their Titans are set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
In the offense last week, they have things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. From the gun, it's Bortles. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
380.
Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Here's Bortles to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
380.
They go play action for Yeldon. Now it's Bortles. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Brian Orakpo in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Now a play fake here on first down. Going underneath for Lewis. Gets it up around the 22, but no further. Did flash the fancy footwork, but not much to show for it. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll bring up a second down. Now Gabbard. And this one is incomplete. The intended receiver, Taywan Taylor. And it'll bring up third down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Here's Gabbert now. Wide open receiver complete. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. In for the score. And the Titans have taken a first quarter lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy. That wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Ryan Suckup on for the point after. Extra point up and good by Suckup. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, here's Yeldon. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
380. 380.
A 1st down carry now for Yeldon. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now they'll throw it. Bortles to the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
380.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Brian Orakpo in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a third.
It looks like they caught him off guard on second and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for him. Picked up really nice yardage, but still have a lot of work to do on third down.
And Austin Safarian-Jenkins has it. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
To throw is Gabbert. And he hits his man, Matthews. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Tennessee after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And all the way down to the 26. A big play that time for the Titans. And even 40 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does the defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swapped.
Nowhere to go. Here he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with it.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. So we've reached halftime. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A first down throw for Gabbert. Dumps it off to Lewis. Oh, and Lewis lost the football. But it looked like the Titans were able to recover, and indeed they will keep possession of the ball.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Gabbert here again. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Derek Morgan in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
380.
Bortles to throw on second down. This is Yeldon on the dump off. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be third down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup of someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get them the first.
Football is such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you think, yeah, the fullback's probably going to get the ball, but when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
he'll give it here to his running back. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Let's go, let's go. They've got tight left, one tight end, one tight end. Keep tight end. Green 80, green 80. Green is right. Green is right.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Corey Grant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Getting set to go here, we see Blaine Gabbert march back out onto the field. He'll be kind of looking to erase the first part of this 3rd quarter from his memory partner.
I think he, above all, was upset that they actually got to halftime. Because you saw him in the first half. He was really sharp,
and they had
good,
the lead.
Had the lead. Everything was going well. And you know you keep telling yourself, just stay up, stay motivated. But sometimes at halftime can kill your mojo.
Yeah, now he's had an interception, a fumble. We'll see what he does here. Now they'll run with Lewis. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Forced out to his left. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Richmond, Richmond. Reset, reset, reset.
Back now in Nashville.
Reset, reset, reset.
Now Lewis. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, it's Lewis. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
The good old toss play. And this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side. But the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield. Otherwise, that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage.
They'll try to throw here. Gabbert. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. As his guys are in for 6. And the Titans have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Extra point put through by Succop. And the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Check. 380.
And the blitz does come. Fighting through pressure. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
380.
Bortles now on first down. Lee's got it over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Throwing is Bortles, and that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. In for the score. And the Jaguars have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. This is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
Reset. Richmond.
They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Right back to him on first down. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Dante Fowler in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
Desperation time. Gabbard on 4th. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. That is caught at the 7. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Keith Marshall with time running out. And the Titans have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
So many practices we watched over time where the offense works on scoring late in the game and finding a way to win, as we just saw there.
Just saw it right there. Now can they preserve that advantage that they just got? A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Getting set to go again, Blake Bortles marches back onto the field with his offense. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they may be the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. Give him 30 yards there. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York.
380. 380.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, He's helping his team in a huge way.
Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Marshall. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good